Dear students, Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Plant Physiology course. We have started the discussion of water potential, and in the previous video we discussed the definition of water potential. In fact, it was just an introduction to water potential. Now let's go through the definition of water potential once again, and let's dissect it into parts, and then we shall move on and discuss various components of water potential and the relationship of these osmotic quantities or these water potential components. Water potential. So let's go through that definition step by step. So the water potential, or as we have seen, it's psi W. So psi W is the water potential. And what is water potential? This sentence tells us that water potential is the chemical potential of water, as we have seen in the previous video. Water potential is another name for chemical potential of water. Obviously, when we are considering water potential, so it must be in a system. What that system can be, system is a very generic term. We have already discussed it during our discussion of laws of thermodynamics. Anything which is under consideration, and in this case it might be an osmometer, or it might be two solutions separated by a semi-permeable membrane. So it may be a system, or it can also be a part of a system. So we are trying to define, or we are trying to determine what is water potential. So in the very first place, water potential is the chemical potential of water. So how to find it, how do we get water potential? So obviously it will be a system that it is under consideration, or it might be a part of a system. And then when we consider the water potential of that system or part of that system, so it's a relative term, and we usually measure that water potential in terms of some units, and those units are the pressure units. And this is what we have already seen in the previous video, that we usually express, or we usually work with water potential in terms of pressure units. Now when we consider water potential, we compare it to the chemical potential of pure water, or to the water potential of pure water, and that is also expressed in units of pressure. So we are trying to determine what is water potential. It is the chemical potential of water. Where it is, it might be a system, or it might be any part of the system. We usually express it in the units of pressure, and then we compare it. Since it's a relative term, it's not an absolute term, it's a relative term, and we compare it to the chemical potential of water, and that chemical potential is also measured in units of pressure. And where we do it, so under what conditions we do this comparison, the chemical potential of water of a system or part of a system, and we are comparing it to the chemical potential of pure water, and both are expressed in units of pressure. So under what conditions we are carrying out this comparison? So it will be at atmospheric pressure and also at the same temperature. That is, the system or part of the systems whose water potential is going to be determined, it must be at atmospheric pressure. and at the same temperature. So both of them, water potential of the system and water potential of the pure water, when we are trying to compare those or when we making a comparison, they must be both at the atmospheric pressure and at the same temperature. And this final statement, which is very important and it's going to help us a lot in our following discussions, and that is the chemical potential or the water potential of pure water has been arbitrarily set to zero, or it has been set at zero. So pure water potential has been fixed, so to say, at zero, whatever its actual value might be when we carry out our osmotic experiments or when we try to determine the various components of water potential, we consider the water potential of pure water as zero. So this was the same definition dissected, and hopefully you get the concept that what is water potential. So let's go back and discuss the components of water potential. Let's write down an equation to find out the components of water potential. Components of water potential. So psi W, in most cases, it is equal to psi S plus psi P plus psi G. So this is a very simple equation telling us about the components of a water potential, how we can determine the water potential of a system or part of a system. So let's see what these three terms mean, that is psi S, psi P and psi G. As you can see from this very simple equation, three factors, they contribute to the water potential of a system or a cell or whatever it might be. So there are three factors.
The first of these three factors is psi S, the solute potential. It is also known as osmotic potential. Now, what is solute potential or osmotic potential? It represents the effect of solute. Now, what it does, that it represents the effect of solute on the free energy of water. The effect of solute on Cp of water, or chemical potential of water, or water potential, Cp of water. And in one of previous videos we have already seen the effect of solute when dissolved in water. It reduces the free energy of water. Whenever solute is dissolved in water, the process of forming a solution or dissolving a solute in a solvent, what happens, that the disorder or the entropy of the system increases, because basically adding solute to a solvent has the entropy effect, because it increases the disorder in the system, or energy is lost when solute is dissolved. And the overall effect on the water potential is, or the chemical potential of water is, that it has some negative value. So whenever solute is dissolved in water, so the effect of solute is negative value of osmotic potential, negative value of water potential. Since we have seen already in the previous video that water potential of pure water has been set at zero, so when we add solute to water, the free energy of the pure water decreases, and its water potential is lowered and it will have some negative value. So this is very important concept as far as this statement is concerned, that adding solute, no matter what the quantity of the solute might be, whether it's a small quantity or a greater quantity, it always brings the water potential of water below zero. So a solution will always have a negative water potential. So this is very important concept, and you must bear it in mind whenever discussing osmosis or solutions during osmosis. So a solution will always have some negative value, and that extent or the magnitude of the negative value depends upon the quantity of the solute. Since solute always reduces the free energy or chemical potential of pure water, therefore solute potential or osmotic potential is always independent of the specific nature of the solute. So as you can see in this statement, it's a very important concept as far as adding solute to the solvent or water is concerned, that osmotic potential is independent of specific nature of the solute. It always lowers the water potential of the pure water, and the osmotic potential is independent of the specific nature of the solute. So this was factor number 1, or the first factor. The next is psi p. Now this psi p represents the hydrostatic pressure. It's a positive pressure, and we have also seen its example in previous videos, that in the osmometer, if we are able to introduce a piston, so that piston, and because of that piston we can exert pressure on the solution and it will raise its chemical potential. Now if this hydrostatic pressure, or the pressure, if it is positive, that if it has some positive value, then it will always raise the water potential. If we exert positive pressure on a solution, especially when it is confined, then it will raise the water potential of that particular solution. The hydrostatic pressure or positive pressure within the cells. Now this value psi p is also known as pressure potential. P, pressure potential. Inside the cells, this psi p is also known as turgor pressure. Turgor pressure inside the cells. However, this value of psi p can be positive as well as negative. It is positive inside the cells. When water enters a cell, turgor pressure develops. Now if these quantities, the solute potential and the pressure potential, they are not making any sense to you at the moment, don't worry. We are going to discuss the relationships of these osmotic quantities: water potential, solute potential, pressure potential, and the effect of gravity on the water potential, and metric potential as well. So the pressure potential might be positive, or it can also be negative. Negative pressure develops inside xylem vessels when water is moving upwards, or water is translocated from roots to the top of the plant. Next is psi g, or the effect of gravity on water potential. Now gravity, it tends to move the water column downwards. The psi g, or effect of gravity on water potential, it depends upon the height of the water column, density of water, and acceleration due to gravity. But when we consider the water potential of a solution, or when we are considering water potential of cells, a couple of cells, so this psi g is usually neglected because it has some effect on the water potential when water is in a tall column. Water is making a tall column. So due to that weight of the column and height of the column and density of the water and acceleration due to gravity, So these factors then contribute to psi g. In a small sized cell or solution in a beaker, the psi g effect is negligible, and mostly when we relate these various osmotic quantities, or when we consider the components of water potential, we mostly ignore psi g. So our equation of water potential then reduces to psi w is equal to psi p. Water potential is equal to solute potential plus pressure potential. So in the next video we are going to take example and see how these various quantities are related to water potential. So thanks for watching and see you in the next video.